Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Jason Sarney here with Fin Maniacs and your Monday morning quarterback. And let's bring on in the quarterback, number 9, Jay Fiedler. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay today. Yeah, tough loss yesterday, but there were definitely a lot of positives to come out of that game. Definitely interested in seeing how healthy they could come back. From off of this game and next week against the Patriots as well.
Injuries were a huge factor against a team like the Chiefs. You got to say that there was a moral victory. I know the term moral victory might not be the greatest thing to say, especially on a Monday after the loss. But really, you look at Devontae Parker leaving the game early with a leg injury. Later in the game, Mike Gesicki left with a horrible-looking shoulder injury. You hope he's okay. And that, not to mention, offensive line injury. Eric Flowers did not play today. So how does a team really kind of have that focus, next man up mindset against really the biggest competition that they've had all year?
Well, look, that's got to be the attitude, and I don't take too much heart in moral victories. As a player, you're in a zero-sum game. You win on Sunday, or you lose on Sunday, and that's what you take out of it. When you go back, you look at the film. You start watching, you're seeing what you could correct, what you did well, and move on to the next week. I think the moral victory is more for the fan base, for the media, to take something out of it. But look, they're still an 8-5 team. They got they do have a lot of injuries. They got to figure out who they're going to be playing with next week. But whoever steps out on the field, whoever dresses next Sunday, they got to step up and make plays, and everyone on the team is going to be expecting whoever's out there to make plays.
That's exactly the mindset of this Brian Flores coach team, is next man up. And look, you're with your 4th running back, your 5th running back in some cases, a guy you bring on in DeAndre Washington, plays admirably. And you have a guy, Mac Hollins, who really is normally a gunner. He comes in. He performs admirably in Devontae Parker and later Mike Gesicki's absence. And we have to talk about, Jay, I know this is an offensive-minded show, but the performance of the defense. You played with one of the greatest defenses that the Dolphins have ever had. We're not there yet. No one's going to put a defense yet up to that 2000, 2001, 2002 defense. But how about Xavier Howard?
Oh, it's tremendous. Not just what he's been doing week in and week out, but that play in particular, my goodness, what an athletic play. I mean, that's a catch you see, top flight receivers making, one-handed going up, twisting backwards to get there. His ball skills are beyond measure right now. He's just playing at a level that is rightfully so. You gotta label him as one of the top 2 cornerbacks in the league right now. The way he's playing.
100%. And I can't say that he's at a Sam Madison or Pat Surtain level. Is he close, Jay?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the way he's playing right now, and the Dolphins, historically, going back to their best teams are the ones that that had some great defenses. Going back to the Killer Bees, the 70s, the teams that in the late 90s and early 2000s, and now you're seeing that resurgence. What are they calling it? The tropical swarm now. So I don't know. I don't know if we had a nickname for for the team back in 2000 era, but either way, the defense is really stepping up. I mean, playing huge. The turnovers that they're creating are allowing them to win games. They've gotten them helped them get to the 8-5 record, and certainly gave them an opportunity yesterday to win against the Super Bowl championship team from last year, and a team that right now you have to say is the leading contender again to go back and win the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it. A defense that also did not have Kyle Van Noy, did not have a Landon Roberts, and 2 plays at least that Bobby McCain was out, 14 points were given up. Unfortunately, the anchor of the D, concussion protocol. But let's get into the Monday morning quarterback aspect of the show, Jay. You're going to go back to some past tape. Although there was some wins in games where Tua played, you had your eye on certain things that had an overall offense and a progressive mindset of Tua's, reads and how it could overall help move offense with little chunk plays. And we're going to bring on a pass play before we get into a play where he improved on that in yesterday's game.
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to show you two plays. It's actually two plays in a row in this game, and you can see on the screen we got it teed up. First quarter. This was after a couple drives and a a little bit of back and forth with the defensive turnovers. But this is their first touchdown drive in the first quarter coming out. We've talked about how fast the Dolphins have started games, and they certainly got out to a fast start again yesterday against Kansas City. But what I want to highlight here, and I'm actually going to go to another game before that, but there's a two-play series right here. Back-to-back plays where as I was watching the game, I had a little deja vu, and I went back to some of the old, clips of, what we had talked about in previous shows of plays that they had missed and plays and opportunities that they had to make plays. And it was great to see that Tua made those plays yesterday on back-to-back plays. And not just Tua, but also, just the way the offense executed on plays. So we're going to go back, and I'm going to take you to the Jets game. And this was Fitz in the game, obviously, when Tua was injured with the thumb. But what I want to show you is we'll go to the all-22 reel here. Okay. Up top, okay, you had Gesicki and Grant in a little combination. You'll see Gesicki will come in on a little short motion. Okay, what the Jets end up doing is they go into a cover two-man defense. Okay, and this was a third down play, 3rd and 5, right here against the Jets, and something that we talked about on the show on against two-man. Some of your strengths in your offense are those horizontal plays running across the field. And if you create a little pick situation, a little rub situation, and open that up a little bit more, you got huge windows in the middle of the field to get to. So, going back a few weeks ago, I talked about how receivers were kind of running their route, every man for themselves. And this was one of the examples that we touched base about, where Gesicki came in and he was running his route against his man, not really to help Grant out on the rub and try and get off of the defender's shoulder. And you'll see here, okay, even without the rub, you did have a open receiver coming across the middle that Fitz passed up and looked to go, to the corner to Gesicki. But you'll see it here on the end zone camera. In a second, it's going to come through, and Gesicki goes up, and right there, okay, you see two steps that the receiver has on the defender. Okay, and if you give it to him right here, you can see how much green grass or green turf there is on the field to catch, get upfield, and get a big gain against a two-man defense. Okay, so let's just go back out, and we'll pick up the game from yesterday. All right, and here we are, same defense. Chiefs get into a two-man. Okay, Tua sees it. And watch Lynn Bowden right here, and I'm not sure how well you'll see it on this angle. You'll see it a little bit better as they go into a replay on the TV copy. But you can see him just go right up into the defender covering Grant, opens him wide open on the shallow cross. They deliver it to him, and it's a huge gain. And it's a big play. They move the chains. They get going, get into the red zone, and you can see right there, Bowden goes right to the guy who's covering Grant, gets in his face, gives him a little rub, gives him a wide open lane to catch the ball, and got a lot of turf in front of him for against that cover 2 man to make a big play. Okay, so that was a huge play right there, and it's something that you love to see from a young quarterback, even though he wasn't in the game against the Jets and didn't see that, from from the pocket perspective. He's able to still learn when Fitz is in there. He's able to still learn, and this is a few weeks ago, to be able to come back, and not only from him understanding that that's the throw we want to make against 2 man, okay, but also from the overall offensive scheme and the receivers understanding that, and that's that's a great point right now and where they're at. Even though they're on their 4th, 5th, 6th receiver going out there, these guys know how to play, and they might not be as good physically as your top receivers, but it's good to know and good to see from the coaching staff perspective that these guys are out there doing the right things and doing what they're asked to do, in those situations.
What's great about that play that you pointed out, I mean, we're going from Fitz to Tua, but that whole situation, you can give 5 people credit. You can obviously give the quarterbacks, because Fitz and Tua are in the tape room. They're in the QB room feeding off each other. You got to give Grant credit for a nice play, Bowden for the pick, and let's give Chan-Gailey for putting the ball in the hands of the playmakers at their strengths. You and I talked about that previous with Jakeem Grant before we hit record on the show, that Grant's got to get the ball early and then let him use his speed in space.
Well, yeah, he's a guy, like you said, put the ball in his hands and let him, become a punt returner, kickoff returner out in open space. And, whether that be off a little pick play, rub play like we just saw, whether it's a quick screen on the outside, getting the ball in his hands outside, whether it's a jet sweep that we saw last week, coming across in quick motion and the little shovel pass on the jet sweep. Those are the plays that you got to continue to develop, with Grant. He hasn't been able to make those plays downfield. He had a drop yesterday. He had a drop against the Cardinals on a deep pass. So until he could prove those downfield, that he can make those plays downfield, you got to continue to to work to his strength and still give him some opportunities downfield, but understand where his strength lies, and that's in getting the ball in his hands quickly, okay, and easy catches that he could just make and find the open space.
100%. And you got a Chargers game from a couple of weeks ago, queued back up. Tua is under center, and what did you notice here?
So this was another play. This was one of the Tua's initial drives. This was his breakout drive that we talked about. Taking the team all the way down the field for a touchdown. But this is one of the plays that he missed in that play in that series, and they ended up with a field goal on this series. I'm sorry, it was another drive that they ended up scoring the touchdown on. Okay, but this is when they were working the bootlegs to Tua against the Chargers, they opened up some nice throws for him, and this was one that he made a nice play throwing the ball away when he got pressure. But I talked about it, and when he does get pressure, being able to find that little peel out a receiver. And for this one right here, okay, you can see how the tight end comes off the block on the seal, and he peels out and he becomes wide open, okay, behind Tua on the rollout. And if you stop it right there, okay, you can see he's still got plenty of room, okay, to make his read and make this throw. And if he comes back and sees Shaheen right here on the peel out block, okay, he could have hit that one. These guys are running away from it. Once they come off the play fake, they're running back to find those crossers. This little peel out is always a good option, late after you look, down the field. You see he's covered down here, he's covered down here. You got pressure in your face, just come right back to your peel out player. Okay. Now he missed this, he throws it away, they get the field goal. Okay. All positive. Okay. But when you go back into the film and you see, hey, this is another option that I might have on these plays. Now let's fast forward and we'll go back to the game yesterday, and let's see this play once again. Okay, and here we are all right, they get into another bootleg left. Similar looking play, a little bit different scheme. Okay, but he comes out, he's got a little pressure in his face, and what's he do? Throws back to the peel out player and gets a touchdown. Instead of throwing it away, okay, and getting the field goal, he's able to find them, get the touchdown, and they go up 7-0 against the Chiefs early on. But those are two great examples of not only from Tua's perspective, but from the overall offense, understanding, seeing things from previous games, learning from them, and going back out on the field and executing those plays. And it showed up right there yesterday in back-to-back plays on the first touchdown drive. And those are the things that you love to see from the rookie quarterback, being able to go into the film room, see things, and then come back 2-3 weeks later and still have that recall of those same situations to be able to go out and execute it and improve. I just think when you see that, that gives you real good promise, real good hope that he's going to continue developing and continue getting better week in and week out.
Definitely a theme. Week to week, win-loss, there's progression. And I'll tell you what I noticed there, Jay, and I'd love your opinion on this. Gesicki was the guy to kind of pop himself out there. So maybe the personnel shift with him being the option there, maybe mentally said to Tua, all right, this is my athletic tight end. Maybe he can get some yak, get in. Maybe not. That's just what I'm seeing. But do you think that has any factor?
It's possible. I think it was also a little bit of a scheme play as well. In the first play against the Chargers, they had 3 receivers coming out to the front side. And this play, they only had 2 receivers out on the front side, and the third was a crosser coming from the weak side of the play. So it was designed a little bit more so there's only one option out in front of Tua, and then to look back. But it's also understanding where that peel out player is coming from, and noticing that he was open a few weeks ago, and coming back and finding him this week.
Might also be the situation that I have to get as much talking about Mike Gesicki in now this week as I can. He obviously played tremendous. He went down with what it looks like could be a separated shoulder, but got to take a minute to talk about the overall performance and the team-minded game of Mike Gesicki. He's balling out or was balling out. Yeah,
I mean, last few weeks he's been really coming on strong, making some big plays down the field. We talked about the one-handed catch across the middle last week that he made. He was again primed and had another solid game yesterday going for him up until the injury. But he's definitely going forward. Hopefully he's able to come back off that injury. It's not as bad as it might have looked on film, but love to see him come back this year and get back in before the end of the season. And like I said, he's really become a staple of this offense right now. Great option for Tua, and we know that Fitz loved going to him when he was in the game as well. And you're seeing that Tua's really developed a nice relationship, throwing the ball to Gesicki as well.
And on a positive with that, stick with that next man up. You got Adam Shaheen, Durham Smythe, both tight ends having a very good year, both in the blocking scheme as well as pass catching. It seems Adam Shaheen, all he does is make a good play, either a touchdown or a first down when he does get a reception. So is there anything else that you take quarterback-wise from Tua this game, the ability to just, to me, it was finding whoever was on the field, he did what he needed to do to help move the offense.
Well, yeah, I think the other thing that we saw this week, was Tua was taking the easy throws, and he was taking what the defense was giving him. We touched base on that a little bit remember it was last week or the week before, of him being able to find the players in the flat when they're open, getting them the ball early and often, and that'll help open up some of the more downfield throws. And he was doing that. He was taking the dump off throws. He was taking that second, third read in the offense, in the play call, and getting it to him early on. And that was opening up some of the plays downfield. He did hit Gesicki on a nice little sail route deep out at some point in the game that I saw. And it was, reminiscent of one of the plays that we showed when he hit Parker on that second level last week. When they had the flat route and the out over the top, a little flood on the towards the sideline. And that's, that seems to be a play that, that he sees well, he reads well, and one that Chan, keeps coming back to give to an option, where he feels comfortable with the play. Chan's going to dial it back up. I thought the one thing that I did see from yesterday's game, that they need to work on a little bit. They got called for a couple penalties downfield with their offensive linemen.
Yep.
That was in the RPO game, where I think they were starting to get a little bit too cute in the RPO game, where, instead of a run pass option where it was just, either give the ball to the running back or throw to one receiver, they were kind of doing it with a combination route, where Tua was coming off the run and had two receivers out there, and it was taking them a little bit more time to find that receiver, that open receiver down the field. So it was allowing the offensive lineman to get down field a little bit more, when he was hesitating on the throw. So that's something they need to clean up a little bit. From an execution standpoint, but it was also those were plays that were there that were open. They got caught with their linemen downfield just because it was taking a little bit too long to develop.
I have no problem with the creativity, but as you said, look, not too much cuteness. The creativity's fine, but the execution, less is more, I would say. But one other thing that I wanted to mention, even as early as Tua's first or second start, you were looking at where his eyes were going, where his head was looking. And Tony Romo, watching a Dolphin game with Tony Romo is an absolute joy, because listening to his quarterback analysis, it's almost kind of confirming really what you're saying. And he was praising Tua's ability to, use his eyes, to use that reading ability. And there was one play, it was a flag, it was an offensive penalty, but Tua did a fantastic job in the second quarter of looking to the flat. And then he went down, I think, about 15 yards downfield. I forget who the reception was to. Like I said, it was called back. But first thing I noticed was that head swivel, getting a defense to go to his left, making the throw a little bit more towards the middle of the field. So, Jay, got to also wish you a happy Hanukkah.
Thank you. You as well. What are we on? Fifth night tonight?
We're on fifth night. Yeah, we don't do a fifth night here because of the Ray Finkel number. We skip and we go right to 6 here at the Sarney household. Little Dolphin Ace Ventura joke there.
Laces out.
Always laces out. Always laces out. You bake cookies, the laces are out. Everything laces are out. But is there any other fun celebratory aspect that you do with the Fiedlers over in Long Island for Hanukkah?
No, I went over. Mom actually cooked up a nice Hanukkah meal last night. Made her specialty pot roast, which is always a good meal to go to get. So we had a little pot roast and latkes last night. So it was a great dinner, great meal, and again, always good to see the family on the holidays.
Absolutely, and a happy and a healthy holiday to everyone out there. Happy holiday season all around. The Dolphins are going to be back with 3 important games coming up, and we will be back on the midweek All-22, Jay and I, really discussing some more broken down quarterback play with that All-22 coaches film. So thanks very much, Jay. See it all, you Fin Maniacs, on Wednesday. Take care.